Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, January 21st. A very cold morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Indeed, the coldest day of the year so far for the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast U.S. Strong northwest winds will continue all day long, producing painfully cold wind chill values throughout the Midwest, the Northeast, and Mid-Atlantic region. Low temperatures this morning in the suburbs of Philadelphia, New York City, for example, way down in the lower single digits. I saw Central Park bottomed out at 4 degrees. It's the fifth coldest morning in the last 30 years. And that's without snow cover. If there was snow cover on the ground in New York City, Philadelphia, we certainly could have threatened the 0-degree mark, but instead the lower single digits. And again, very cold for the rest of today with strong winds. High temperatures will struggle to climb through the teens in many I-95 corridor locations. All of this Arctic air followed on the heels of a major weekend storm that produced snows for the interior section of the Northeast U.S., but rain in the I-95 corridor for the most part, and from the I-95 corridor points to the east. Certainly, it was primarily rain in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and even up to Boston. And again, if there was snow cover on the ground in the big cities, it could have bottomed out at near 0 degrees in New York or Philadelphia this morning, but no snow on the ground right now, and it looks like the next storm, the midweek storm, Wednesday into Thursday, looks like primarily in the form of rain as well. Well, one of the reasons why the cold air did not hold its ground on Saturday, going into Saturday night, there was an initial burst of snow in some suburban areas from Philadelphia up to New York City, maybe a half an inch or so, but the cold air just did not hold its ground. And one of the things we like to look at this time of the year is what I call high latitude blocking. It's when there's higher heights than normal or higher pressure than normal in places like Greenland, northeastern Canada. That tends to lock into place cold air masses in the Northeast U.S. It's really important to have not only cold air, but sustained cold air for snow in the I-95 corridor region. And one of the ways you sustain the cold air is if you have blocking to the north, high latitude blocking. One of the indicators of that, by the way, excuse me, is a negative negative NAO, North Atlantic oscillation. It's been hovering around neutral. Looks like it stays neutral over the next few days. This actually is going back in time to Saturday morning, looking at the 500 millibar height anomaly pattern throughout the northern hemisphere. Here we go. Take a look at Greenland, for example. This is Saturday. You see some blues here, the opposite of what you would hope for if you wanted to see high latitude blocking. Higher heights than normal represented on this particular map in orange. Just did not have that locked into place up to the north, and the cold air therefore retreated rather quickly late Saturday night, and any snow that started at the onset changed over to rain, and it fell heavily at times on Saturday night going into the day on Sunday. Well, let's now jump ahead to Thursday morning's forecast map for the 500 millibar height anomaly pattern. We have another storm to deal with Wednesday, Thursday time frame. A little bit better look to this, but still not all that favorable. Look at Greenland, for example. Kind of neutral here. There are some higher heights than normal starting to build the other side of Greenland and also along the Canadian Maritimes, but still going into this midweek event, still not a real good high latitude blocking scenario. The cold air will not hold. It looks like it stays cold on Tuesday, but it retreats in time to allow for primarily rain in the big cities Wednesday into Thursday. Well, let's now walk through the very latest, a 12Z NAM model run. Again, very cold today throughout the northeastern part of the U.S., the Midwest, the Mid-Atlantic region. Strong northwest winds will keep wind chill values way below 0 at times. And the reason, very strong pressure gradient remains over the Northeast U.S. between that departing weekend low and strong high pressure over the upper part of the Midwest. Still stormy pattern, lots of snow out here in the western U.S. Let's now move forward. These maps, by the way, from tropicaltidbits.com. This afternoon, still windy. Temperature struggling to climb through the teens in much of the I-95 corridor region. Then by tonight, that high pressure starts to edge over the Mid-Atlantic region. The winds will start to die down during the evening and certainly in the overnight hours. Looks like it could be another night with overnight lows in the single digits in most suburban regions in the I-95 corridor region, especially given the fact that this high pressure will move on top of the area, and that'll increase the radiational cooling prospects as the winds die down late tonight with mostly clear skies. Now here we go into the day on Tuesday. Certainly a much easier feel outside in terms of wind. Very little wind on Tuesday. High pressure sitting right on top of the region. Very strong high. It's still well below normal temperatures, but it'll feel much better because of the lack of wind. High temperatures may approach the 30-degree mark in much of the I-95 corridor region. Better than today, and certainly not nearly as harsh with those relaxed winds. Now let's move forward here. And again, with no high latitude blocking set in place, it allows for storms to track up to the north and west of the I-95 corridor region, producing some significant snow late tomorrow night up across the upper part of the Midwest, but then slides up to the north and west. The high pulls off the eastern seaboard. That allows for milder air to flow in ahead of the precipitation on Wednesday, primarily resulting in rain. There can be some ice to worry about at the onset, and perhaps at the end of this system there can be some ice or snow. But again, it looks like primarily a rain event. This is now early afternoon on Wednesday, and we'll have to watch for this. Very cold air often is slow to retreat. Eventually it will retreat, though, in this particular case, without that high latitude blocking, and resulting in primarily rain by the time it reaches the I-95 corridor region, especially Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. Essentially a cold front slides through the region. On the backside, there is the threat for it to end briefly as ice or snow, but again, primarily a rain event from Wednesday into Thursday. No strong high latitude blocking yet in place, and here we go. By the time a Thursday night rolls around, the precipitation will end. It looks like it turns colder on Friday, perhaps even colder than that on Saturday, and then we'll have to watch. There are certainly signs that there'll be a storm along the eastern seaboard in the Sunday-Monday time frame. Way too early for any details on that, but there could be a coastal storm somewhere around late Sunday or Monday of the early part of next week. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.